Imagine boarding a routine, overnight flight. The cabin lights dim. Passengers settle into their seats. The engines hum steadily. Everything is normal. Then, 40 minutes after takeoff, the aircraft simply disappears. No distress call. No explosion. No confirmed crash site. Just silence. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 vanished with 239 people on board. It became the greatest mystery in modern aviation. And more than a decade later, the world is still asking the same chilling question, right pointing finger emoji, what really happened to MH370? Because the deeper investigators looked, the stranger the story became. MH370 departed from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. On board were passengers from multiple countries, families, business travelers, students, a crew of experienced aviation professionals. Nothing seemed unusual. The aircraft, a Boeing 777, was one of the safest commercial airplanes ever built. The weather was calm. The flight plan was routine. Shortly after takeoff, the pilots contacted air traffic control. The final routine words from the cockpit were, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Moments later, the aircraft disappeared from civilian radar. At first, controllers assumed it was a communication problem. But within minutes, it became clear that something was terribly wrong. Let's be honest, when your GPS loses signal for 5 seconds, most people immediately think, seriously? Now imagine losing contact with an entire commercial airplane. That's a very different kind of silence. But losing radar contact wasn't the strangest part. Because evidence soon revealed, the airplane hadn't simply vanished. It had changed course. Military radar later showed something astonishing. After disappearing from civilian tracking, MH370 appeared to turn sharply west. It crossed back over the Malaysian peninsula, then flew toward the Indian Ocean. Why? No one knows for certain. Communication systems stopped transmitting. Yet another onboard system continued sending faint electronic handshakes to a satellite. These signals suggested the aircraft kept flying for several more hours. That changed everything. Investigators now believed the plane hadn't crashed immediately. It had continued flying far into one of the most remote regions on Earth. The search area expanded dramatically. And with every passing day, hope slowly faded. But if investigators knew roughly where the plane went, why couldn't they find it? The answer lies beneath one of the deepest oceans on Earth. An unprecedented international search began. Ships, aircraft, satellites, deep-sea robots. Experts from around the world joined the effort. Millions of square miles of ocean were analyzed. The cost climbed into hundreds of millions of dollars. Yet, nothing. For years, the ocean refused to give up its secrets. Then, in 2015, a breakthrough. A piece of aircraft debris washed ashore on Réunion Island. Experts confirmed it belonged to MH370. More debris was later found along the coast of Africa and nearby islands. These discoveries confirmed one heartbreaking reality. The aircraft had ended its journey in the Indian Ocean. But the main wreckage remained hidden. Think about this. Scientists have mapped parts of Mars more clearly than sections of Earth's own ocean floor. Kind of puts things into perspective, doesn't it? As the years passed, theories multiplied. Airplane emoji 1. Pilot incapacitation. Some experts believe a catastrophic event may have left everyone on board unconscious while the aircraft continued flying on autopilot. It's a possibility, but evidence remains incomplete. Satellite emoji 2. Deliberate course change. Others believe someone intentionally changed the aircraft's route. Investigators examined cockpit data, communications, and the captain's background. Yet no single explanation has ever been universally accepted. Wrench emoji 3. Mechanical failure. Could a rare technical malfunction have caused multiple systems to fail? Commercial aircraft are designed with layers of redundancy. While mechanical failures occur, none fully explain every known detail of MH370's final journey. Ocean wave emoji 4. The ocean's secrets. Perhaps the greatest challenge isn't understanding why MH370 disappeared. It's finding where it came to rest. The southern Indian Ocean is vast, deep, and incredibly difficult to search. Even today, much of it remains unexplored. Cliffhanger transition. But perhaps the greatest mystery isn't hidden beneath the ocean. Perhaps it's hidden within the unanswered questions. MH370 isn't remembered simply because an airplane disappeared. It's remembered because 239 lives were forever changed. Families waited for answers. Loved ones searched for hope. Investigators pursued every lead. The tragedy also transformed aviation. Airlines and regulators strengthened aircraft tracking systems. Global discussions about real-time flight monitoring accelerated. Sometimes, history changes not because we find answers, but because we learn from uncertainty. Think about this: how can something as large as a commercial airliner disappear in the 21st century? It's a question that still challenges technology, science, and human understanding. The mystery of MH370 reminds us that despite all our technological advances, the world still holds places we barely understand. Sometimes, the greatest mysteries aren't born from imagination. They're born from reality. Somewhere beneath the vast Indian Ocean, the final chapter of flight MH370 may still be waiting to be discovered. Until then, its disappearance remains one of history's greatest unanswered questions. And if you're fascinated by extraordinary stories of courage, survival, and the final moments that shaped history, there's another documentary you won't want to miss. Right pointing finger emoji. Click the video on your screen now to watch Scott's last diary entry, The Truth About What Happened. Discover the heartbreaking final days of Captain Scott's Antarctic expedition, and the diary that revealed one of history's most emotional true stories. Trust me, it's a story you'll never forget.